Hey guys, this is Obsessed with Videos here, and since it's the end of the year, it's time for the 7th annual OWV Awards. On a quick side note though, you may have noticed that the background of this year's OWV Awards is different to what it has been in previous years. That's because I've decided to use the same background and use the same kind of effects that I used in my channel update video that I did back on the 19th of December. Now let's talk about some of the things that have happened over this past year, shall we? Now without getting too political, this year has been a bumpy ride, particularly for me, and while a lot of people may be feeling the pinch a bit right now, at this moment, we'll be focusing a bit on how my life has been this year, without me going into really personal details. So for starters, this has been my final year of college, and the last few months of it turned out to be more stressful than I thought they were going to be. And even though I do miss some aspects of being there, I'm glad that I'm finally free from having to do lots of college work. However, even though I finished there back in June, it has taken me a substantial amount of time to feel more relaxed and more at ease. And as a result, I haven't really felt like doing much this year. Like, I haven't felt like doing much videos on YouTube, even though later in the year I have been beginning to do more and more again. And also, I haven't really felt like going to the cinema that much this year. And that's what leads me into this year's OWV Awards, with the 2022 film distributor ranking list of what would normally have been the cinema ticket ranking, has for this year become the films I've watched ranking list. Since alongside seeing 14 films at the cinema this year, the exact same amount that I had in 2020, although this time it wasn't because of COVID, but for reasons I've just mentioned earlier, I've also managed to watch 4 films at home as well. So for this year's ranking list, I will encompass both sets of films into one ranking list. So let's see what we've got here. Well, for starters, all the anime. I've watched 2 films from them this year, which are Belle and One Piece Film Red. Netflix. I've watched 2 films from them this year, which are The Adam Project and Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. Sony Pictures Releasing International. I've watched 2 films from them this year, which are Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and Bullet Train. Universal Pictures. I've watched 2 films from them this year, which are Weird Science and Jurassic World Dominion. Paramount Pictures. I've watched 3 films from them this year, which are Jackass Forever, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Top Gun Maverick. Warner Brothers Pictures. I've watched 3 films from them this year, which are The Batman, Black Adam, and The Polar Express. Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. I've watched 4 films from them this year, which are Turning Red, Lightyear, Avatar, and Die Hard. And the winner of the distributors for this ranking list is... Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Congratulations to Disney for having the most amount of films I've watched this year. And Disney, even though I know your recent animated films like Encanto, Lightyear, or Strange World haven't been doing as well at the box office as you would have hoped, I know that many of your Marvel films this year, like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, have been doing substantially well for you. And just recently, for the first time since Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in 2019, you've had another billion-dollar hit this year with the long-awaited Avatar: The Way of Water. And I hope you continue to make more money with that film. While it does seem in the balance that Avatar 2 might not surpass or even make the same amount that the first film made, hopefully it has the ability to make at least $2 billion at the worldwide box office. Or at the very least, become the highest grossing film of 2022 by surpassing the numbers that have already been set by Paramount's Top Gun Maverick. Let's see how you get on, shall we? Now, in this year's OWV Awards, there will only be 2 ranking lists. The one which I've just talked about, which is the films I've watched list. So let's now move on to the second list, where I rank all of the films that I've bought on home media in 2022 by distributor, and see which one has the most amount of films I've bought this year. This year I've bought 25 films on home media. So let's see what we've got here. Well, for starters, Paramount Home Entertainment. I got 2 home media releases from them this year, which are Jackass Forever and The Lost City. Universal Pictures Home Entertainment, the pre-Warner Brothers era. I got 2 home media releases from them this year, which are The Purge Election Year and The First Purge. Buena Vista Home Entertainment. I got 4 home media releases from them this year, which are Free Guy, Encanto, Lightyear, and Turning Red. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. I got 6 home media releases from them this year, which are Venom Let There Be Carnage, Spider-Man No Way Home, Uncharted, Bullet Train, Morbius, and Monster Hunter. Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. I got 11 home media releases from them this year, which are The Forever Purge, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, Last Night in Soho, The Matrix Resurrections, The Northman, Belfast, The Polar Express, The Jurassic World Ultimate Collection, Miss Harris Goes to Paris, Beast, and Elvis. And the winner of the distributors for this ranking list is... Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. Congratulations to Warner Brothers Home Entertainment for winning in this category 2 years in a row, because you won in this category last year as well. And to round things up for this year's OWV Awards, let's add the total numbers of both categories together, shall we? So for starters, there have been 18 film viewings and 25 home media releases in the OWV Awards this year. So 18 plus 25 equals... 41, whereas last year's total was 60. But it's understandable why this year would have a lesser number because of the circumstances that I faced throughout this year that I mentioned about earlier on in this video. So that concludes the main course of the 2022 OWV Awards, and now for the finishing touches. A preview of what might be coming to Obsessed with Videos in early 2023. As for when my first film update of 2023 will be, I'm not entirely sure on that just yet. It really just depends on when or if I manage to get any films to show in an update during that time. And as for the mini-series that I'll be doing about films that are scheduled to come out in 2023, that series will be called Film Releases to Expect in 2023, and each video will have titles such as Film Releases to Expect in the United Kingdom in this month of 2023, or Film Releases to Expect in the United States in that month of 2023, and so on and so forth. The first video in this mini-series will be called Film Releases to Expect in the UK in January 2023, and I plan to release it sometime in January 2023, although I'm not entirely sure exactly when in that month it will be yet, but stay tuned for that. As for what my first video for 2023 in general will be, I'm not entirely sure what that will be yet, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, with all that said, that fully concludes the 2022 OWV Awards. Hope you have a happy new year, and stay tuned for more videos coming in 2023. See you later!